Well then guys, Wargaming have actually done it. And I mean, they've actually surprised me with how terrible this tank looks. And their most recent additions that they're bringing in as the monster tanks for this year. Of course, it's coming up to Halloween, and today's update news video is going to cover everything that you need to know about next week, or at least tomorrow as of the recording of this video. So when you see this, tomorrow we are going to be getting these vehicles in the game, and yeah, not entirely sure how I feel about it. And of course, leave your comments initially as to what you think about these vehicles, but we'll cover some more detail on all of them. But primarily interested to see what you guys think about all of them and how you would change them and what you think they're actually going to be like in the game. But let's have a look. Let's see what update news they've actually released, because they didn't actually have the update stream last week because they were dealing with some of the errors that Wargaming have been making in these updates. So let's have a look. First of all, they apologise for the bugs and issues that occurred after the update on Tuesday. We were able to fix most of these during an emergency downtime on the same day because some players were caused major disruption to. We currently have a double XP for the day's first win active for all players. Again, we are sorry for any inconvenience that these issues caused. So that was effectively their way of kind of giving back to the community after they made a mess up, which is good. Highly, yeah, it's just good. I mean, not good that they messed up, but at least they kind of gave something back for the fact that they did mess up. Anyway, regardless of that, what happened last week? Well, we had the new season of Awakened. Wow. And yes, there was definitely some disappointment from some of you guys who actually decided to go and have a look at the new season, and we got the T-77 re-released again. We got the new Cobra medium tank, and we also got the T-55 Enigma. My favourite of those is actually the T-55 Enigma. Found it really, really fun to play. And then the British Tier 9 Cobra medium tank was also a really, really good one as well. But probably nowhere near as good, like competitively, that is. And then the T-77 is a very, very good tank as well, and you can see that in yesterday's video on the channel if you're interested in seeing the T-77. And last week we basically did videos on both the Enigma and the Cobra, so you can have a look at those as well. I will link those at the end of this video, so if you want to have a look at those, you can do, and see whether or not you actually want to pick up these two tanks. Anyway, they also brought out the Japanese heavy and multi-turret functionality, so I don't know, it might be interesting. They also had commander display improvements and the store improvements as well, because they want to sell some more stuff in the store. Anyway, premium bonus, there is also a 50% silver and XP on tier 5 all the way up to tier 10, or alternatively era 2 on the following lines, which is the 121, which is the Chinese tier 10 medium tank, and the IS-7, of course the Soviet tier 10 heavy tank, and the Challenger 2, which is the era 2 British medium tank that is the Western Alliance, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, regardless of that, that's all good news. That was all last week's news. So let's see what we have this week, and this is where it gets interesting. We have the new Monster Hunter tanks, which is the Death Chariot, the tier 8 heavy tank, and has normal matchmaking with a large 460 alpha damage gun, and collects the souls of your enemies with its enhanced 25% commander XP bonus and all new powers. Wow, in the Awakened Halloween game mode that you'll be able to actually play very, very soon as well. So, most notably, it's skull-seeking missiles, so you can fire skulls. I mean, might be interesting for those of you who are kind of, I don't even know. Anyway, this is the tank that is actually the Death Chariot. It's this one. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like the IS-6 or something like that, but like a reskinned version. Whoop-de-doo, wouldn't be like Wargaming to re-release premium tanks and give them a new skin and give them some more intricate little extras like the Grim Reaper hands and stuff on the side of it. But, I mean, it's a new tank, kind of, I guess, but I mean, it gets more alpha, 460, so yeah, I mean, I'd be interesting to play this, and I will be doing a full review of this vehicle as soon as it comes out as well. And we've also got the Arachnid, which is a tier 9 medium. The Arachnid mounts a 2-round autoloader that to take a bite of its enemy, and with its new mobility, it can scatter across the battlefield as a medium tank. I wonder which is the Arachnid. Of course, it is this one, and it kind of looks like an AE Phase 1 a little bit, but with the 2-round autoloader. I guess it's kind of like, what's it called, the T95E2, but with a 2-shot autoloader, kind of like the Stone Cold as well, but a tier 9 version. So I'm interested to see how that will actually play. Of course, full stats coming tomorrow, and we'll be looking at this vehicle in a bit more detail as soon as it jumps into the game. I will hopefully have a replay of one of these tomorrow in the evening, so get ready for that. And of course, we'll see everything you need to know about them. And this will come with the spirits of a jumping spider that can crush your enemies. So in the awakened game mode, you will be able to jump, I'm assuming. That's kind of what they're going for. So you'll be able to jump on other people, and I'm guessing that if you land on someone, it's going to one-hit them from the game. So that'll be kind of interesting. And then we have the Asterion, or the Asterion. Takes inspiration from the bull theme of the tank. It's a heavy tank with great frontal armor protection, with a solid gun and mobility to match its playstyle. Imbue the spirits of a bull to ram your enemies and send them flying across the battlefield. This is definitely going to be a good one to play in the Awakened game mode. I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully it's like super speed in like one direction, and then you can just ram people into the air. So that would be kind of cool. The bull head on the turret is visually only, and provides no armor protection, thank God, because that would be disgusting. It looks kind of like a pattern turret with it's basically a ram panzer is basically what this tank is. So I'm sure that they're all actual tanks that are already in the game, I expect. So there's nothing really new. They're just kind of skinned version that don't actually provide any benefits, other than the fact that it's going to be really hard to pinpoint the weak point when there is this kind of overlay thing in the way. So it's going to be better than the counterpart, which doesn't have this, because people won't be able to easily and reliably be able to find your weak points. Obviously they might know where it is, but trying to hit it when you've got that kind of overlaid over the top of it is going to be a pain. Regardless of that, we then got the new Halloween Commander, which is the Grim Reaper. We've got Monster Hunter, and it is that time of the year where you can pick up a free premium tank. And free premium tank, I'm on about the Monster Hunter tank. So every single year you get to choose one tank, and usually what you get is you get a whole list of all of the Monster Hunter tanks. As you go through, you can pick up points. Usually what happens is at the end of the Monster Hunter event, you can pick a tank depending on how many points you've earned, and if you've earned all of the points, you can pick any tank you want. If you've earned, like, I don't know, a couple of points, then you'll be able to pick, like, whatever it is up to that point total that you have. And so, yeah, you may want to grind towards the higher tier vehicles, which you're going to be able to get, or maybe you might be stuck on certain lower tier ones, but you kind of have to make that up as you go along and decide which one you want to go for, and then get the points to be able to do it. You'll not be able to earn a tank higher up the op. So once that's ended, so you will not be able to get any more points, is basically what that's saying. So make sure you pick the right one. Of course, you can only pick one tank, I believe, so you can't just like spam the operation and get all of them. If you were to play like 10,000 games somehow during the event period, it's not going to happen. But yeah, there's no way of getting all of them all in one usually. So I'm sure that that is the exact same thing. Halloween keycards you can also do, so yeah, they're basically going to be commanders that you can pick up. Nothing interesting there. I would highly never recommend actually picking up Halloween keycards or any of the commander keycards that you can get, which are effectively like keycards that only grant commanders and give you like a 1% chance to get a premium tank, which means you'd have to spend like 130 quid just to guarantee, not even guarantee, they're not guaranteed at all on console, so you'd have to spend £139 just to get on the drop rate of a premium tank. And remember, you could spend £500 and still not get a premium tank, so definitely don't buy these if you're thinking about getting premium tanks. you're better off just purchasing the one that you actually want rather than going through the loot boxes. But it's up to you with your own money what you do. But that would be my personal opinion and the opinion that I would give to anyone who asked me. So Halloween Garage, of course, we'll get the updated garage so you can see what's going on in the garage. Wow. And you'll be able to get kind of skulls and stuff dotted around, I expect. And then we've also got double Commander XP in any monster tank, so if you're trying to train up your crews, now is an amazing time to do it. And if you have some of the monster tanks from last year, then you're going to be able to get double XP for your Commander all the way through. Of course, that will stack with any Commander XP boosters that you decide to use during this time as well, so it could be a really good time to grind out some of your Commanders. Monster Drop Op, so only activates if you buy a Monster Tank bundle from the store, and the Monster Drop Op is a operation where you can basically get, like, I think it gives you every so many games that you play in a Monster Tank, you get like a chance on the drop table. They usually come with like a couple thousand silver, they come with like, I don't know, some premium consumables, and they're like your typical really bad drops that you can get. Sometimes they may even have key cards, but they'd be so low, the chances of you actually getting one from the drop, that yeah, you're probably never going to be able to actually get one, but it would be lucky if you do. And then we have the daily login challenge for those of you that haven't already got the KPZ 50T, I believe it is, the Kampfpanzer 50T. Then there will be a new one, and that is the STRVK. Yes, not like Wargaming to re-release a tank that they've already done an earn operation for, but there we go. It's exactly the same tank as we've had previously. Don't worry, they've not made a new one. So yeah, not particularly very interested in that vehicle. It's not particularly good either, so definitely don't feel obliged to log in every single day to be able to actually get this vehicle. It's not really worth it if you aren't going to play anyway, but if you do, it's a nice little addition to your garage if you haven't already got it. And if you have already got it, then yeah, really don't feel obliged to log in every single day. So yeah, anyway, miscellaneous, shout outs, confidential key card. So all of these will get a confidential key card. We had Jabrumi with the maximum damage caused in a single battle in the Cobra at 9,359. That is mad. And it's with 2,632 base experience, which is crazy. Slim Sabernik with the maximum combined assistance damage at 7,265. So I think that's including tracking and assistance. Yeah, I mean, this tank is probably not great at assistance anyway. And then the T-55 Enigma, we had I Hellcat I with the maximum damage caused in a single battle, 11,588. My video that I did recently showcases this vehicle if you did want to have a look as well, so you can do that if you fancy. We then had the T-77 with someone dealing the maximum damage of 5,559, so pretty decent as well. But other than that, I'm not going to go through them all. There's tons. You can pause the video and have a look, and yeah, there's a few people with 110,000 plus battles as well, so yeah. Anyway, there is also the Monster Mash game mode. So get ready for the Monster Hunter game mode that comes out every Halloween, and we will be seeing all of these new vehicles as well joining the game as brand new vehicles, along with this commander here, the Grim Reaper, that you can pick up in game if you want to. I believe it will be a hero commander, so yeah, there we go. Other than that, there is the questions. Was there a change in the season challenge points? There have been a few communication issues internally, and we didn't do a good enough job communicating these changes. Oh, looks like Wargaming being shady again and removing or reducing the amount of points that you get for actually completing the season. We were all asking for more content during the season, so what they did is they reused the same content but made it harder to get everything in the season pass. Great job, Wargaming. We absolutely wanted that in the game. Are there any plans for any Latin American tank lines? It hasn't come up yet, and we haven't had any thoughts in these lines, but if you have any ideas, please hit them up on Discord. I really wouldn't bother because they'll probably never come in anyway. Why do you keep giving us the same tanks as rewards like the T-77? It will still be a new reward for new players, but we understand if you've been around a long time, you mean literally like a year, that's not that long, and that we get it that it won't be interesting to you, but this was a tank we wanted new players to get a chance to earn. What, like the STRVK, and what, like the KPZ 50T, and basically all of the tanks that they've given along in the past, and pretty much all of the new earn operations are just regens of the same challenges every single year. Can we get a chance to give feedback on UI improvements before they're implemented? The next season will have more information about some UI improvements, so you'll hear most about imminent improvements, and we think you will like the first couple of improvements. Maybe they'll be finally bringing back the old HUD that everyone's been wanting for about a year and a half to 2 years at this point, but you never know, it's Wargaming. They'll probably reintroduce a brand new UI that no one was asking for, so we'll have to wait and see. We never know. Hopefully it is actually what they said it would be, which is the World War II HUD that we had previously, for those of you who want to actually use that, and obviously have a tick option for if you want to use the current one. What is Wargaming's plans on improving the game engine on newer consoles? We would love to, but unfortunately there aren't many Series X and PS5 players out there. Our player base is still mostly on older hardware, so we don't want to penalise them. Once more people install the next gen versions, then we can think about this more. So basically what they're saying is no one really plays on Xbox Series X and PS5, so there's not really a point in doing it, which is kind of fair enough. I guess it's just wasted dev time at that point, and it probably cost them a ton to make a new engine, so there we go. Can we get the option to pay 10 gold to sell equipment for full price? If we did that, we couldn't do equipment sales, so we are not planning to do that. What do you mean you can't do equipment sales? Why? Is there no clarity on why you can't do equipment sales because you're now selling it for 10 gold each? Anyway, I mean, I would 100% bring back the 10 gold to sell your equipment for the full price because it's basically a pain. But maybe it's something to do with like the Microsoft Store, and to do with that people can buy gold and then they can spend real money to then pay for equipment, which means if you do a sale, you have to do something with Microsoft Store. But that is literally clutching at straws. If this is just a kind of a statement from Wargaming that they can't do it because they don't want to, then yeah, why wouldn't you, considering that everyone would definitely benefit from this. But there we go. I mean, could have been more clarity on that one. Can we see missiles get loaded onto the WZ-122? The missiles are internally in the tubes and not on rails like the other tanks, so it's a no, unfortunately. So no, you're not going to see the WZ-122 get missiles. When does the Halloween mode start? So it's on October 18th, which is next week. So get ready for the Halloween mode. Are we going to get any new Black Friday skins? We have some cool stuff coming, but it's a little early to talk about. So yes is the answer, basically. Yes, there will be Black Friday skins coming out, and hopefully they'll be on some tanks that are actually kind of cool. Can we have unique 3D commander voices? We think it's a cool idea, and we're investigating the possibility. I mean, it'd be good to get these. I don't see why you wouldn't want them, but there we go, considering everything else is pretty much kind of already been customized, so it'd be interesting to see that. Why can't the Halloween mode last all months? It's available for 2 weeks, and a month seems a bit long. It might become stale. I completely agree. A month is probably a little bit too long, but if people are really calling out for it to be a month, then I don't see why you wouldn't just have it in there all of the time. But I am calling for new game modes to be released more often. I'm not talking about like pretty stale game modes. Like the Halloween mode is the exact same every year. They just released like a new premium tank for the Halloween mode. So it'd be a hell of a lot more fun if they released like some form of new game mode, like where you got on PC, where you got like Frontline and stuff like that. It'd be cool to see something like that come into the game where you can play it at any time, but I doubt that that will ever come to console. There probably just isn't the players at the moment to kind of warrant spending that much development into stuff like that. So we're just on the premium tank re-release grind at the moment on World of Tanks console. So there you go. Other than that, I think that is everything that you need to know for this week on World of Tanks. There is going to be a lot more information, and of course with the release of these new premium tanks, we will cover them during this week. So stay tuned. Of course, if you aren't subscribed and you want to see everything like this as it comes and gets released and we do reviews, then make sure to subscribe. But other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you do join me back in the next video, and I will hopefully see you there. Goodbye.